bell has rang. Started the position at ticker AABB. Right now, I placed 18,000 shares for the ABB. Here it is, you can see it. This is going to drop again, so don't get alarmed. There it goes. I'll be showing you my tickers at the same time, how they move and all. And on my trade ideas account, I'll be switching back and forth. Forgive my inexperience. I'm still learning this screening with the tickers. You can see them here. So AABB, SLRX, NVCN, CTIB, and AABB. I'll switch BBCO at PHIO and DYNT. Now let's see the AABB drop right now. Predictable. Usually this is what happens in the first 5 minutes. It goes up and then goes down. After the 9:35-37 mark, then we might see some real movements, smoother movements, slower movements sometimes. You can see minus $43. But I'll keep in touch. I'll be viewing this ticker for a while. And I'll just mute the mic for now. I'm just gonna eat my breakfast and I'll get back in when things get more interesting. Okay. As you can see here, we have this, not a trend line, but there could be a reversal to positive by the end of the day, possibly passing the 30-cent mark. There were some good news lately about the AABB and the Trade Ideas news tab. We have this is the Asian Broadband Incorporation. So Parallel Wireless announces partnership with a Salad to deliver Central Asia's first RAN implementation in Afghanistan. It sounds, well, it's a positive thing. And basically now the current point is just consolidating. It might get a pass over 30 cents or not. I think it's going to spike over today. Yeah, by the end of the day. I'm almost certain it will pass it. But there is a possibility that I will keep this stock in my position for the next 2-3 days. We'll see how it goes. This stage here looks like a drop. Resistance, support will be around 26, 26, 25. You might be asking, if I do see it that it's going to go down, then why don't you just take out your position and then just get back in? It's because AABB for me is a short-term stock, not a day trading stock from my perspective. So I'm looking mostly for the long term than just a few pennies. So right now I'm holding basically, and I'm satisfied with that. I'm prepared that it drops to 25. Kind of makes sense by the end of not by the end, but anyways, the daily shows a support of point 0.2. For me, that's the minimal that it could go, but it will definitely surpass the point 0.3 mark. Like it's almost inevitable for me. Check the. I'm gonna place the horizontal. A look at why it has this type of pressure. Okay, past the 25 cents. Now it's here. It's deciding. It will pass it. That's for sure. But now it's everybody is just thinking, oh, should I get in? No, maybe not. Like it's indecisive for the moment. So today could be just an indecisive day. But I'm pretty confident we'll pass the 25. Sorry, 27 to and reach the 30. And today we are what? We're Wednesday. So by Tuesday, I'm expecting 32 cents or more. Now, how do you say that? It's true. You can't say that. You can't predict the stock like that in advance. But in my past experience, I've been pretty accurate into, like as you can see now, what I was talking about. Not sure how to explain it. It just even a professional trader could see the potential of this moving over 30 cents. It's 10:30 a.m. right now. We see that AABB is creating a cup holder pattern, possibly hitting the 27.50. If it doesn't spike over it, it's gonna go lower back to 27.25 and create like a little handle, like a teapot. This is a positive indicator for this type of stock, and just confirms what we spoke about before. And there it is, the famous cup holder pattern, which in this case it resulted to a positive. Yeah, predictable. Okay, you're gonna see that the whole video has cuts. This isn't a way to deceive you. It's just that it's boring. It's that I want to show you how boring it could get to day trade, and how much more if you have it for short term or even long term trading. That's why I keep pausing and then cutting, because I'm just walking in the room or I'll go eat something. I've become fat on top of that. Pandemic doesn't help. So yeah, I'll just keep cutting. If I see something interesting, I'll just keep explaining what's going on and so on. But by the end of the day, I'll just nail the live streaming procedure, and hopefully tomorrow or Friday, I think mainly Friday, I will be posting live, usually 5 minutes before the bell, but we'll see. I'm new, so I don't have any rules. I'll let you know. I'll post possibly a short video explaining when. So yeah, so we just saw the cup holder. Look at that. It's a cup of tea, isn't it? All right, so it's 11:47 a.m. Usually around 11:45 I stop my trading and get later on around 3:30ish just to check how things are going. So as we see here, the ABB chart, it might very well drop during lunchtime. This is one of the reasons why I also leave from trading. This is the first indicator now. Things usually start to look up when people come back around 1:30, 1:35 p.m. And I've seen that a lot. I might open up my mobile interactive brokers and give it a look. But usually around 3:30, I just log in again and check the charts. So we'll see you around 3:30 or 1:30 p.m. See you then. (1:30 p.m.) And now the price has consolidated around 0.28 cents. I've placed all the lines that I need and the possible zigzagging. Let's see by 140 if it's going to pass this resistance, past the 28.25. You might see that I've added a position to CAVR and a small one to AABB. I have a slight OCD with numbers and things, so I wanted this to be 20,000 and this one 200,000, but I didn't have enough on my account to do so. So, yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking just looking at that 19,000. OCD. It's a blessing and a curse. And now we see it break over 28.25. This trend line here that I've added is pretty crucial. If ever it creates a Bollinger Band, this is a Bollinger Band, blue and red, and it passes it like this spike here, usually there could be an accelerated uptrend, but there are also risks of it falling down quickly. So in this case is basically patience. Many cases, if you want to be a scalper, it's great to just sell out at the top, wait for it to consolidate on the lower Bollinger, and then buy it at that point, and then again, like a ladder, again and again. But that's not my style for today. Although I do that sometimes, today, no, I want to take it slow. For example, here you would add a few shares. We're talking about thousands of dollars if you have them. But for me, in this case, like 15,000, basically I have 5,000 on AABB, which is nothing. Big players can take advantage of these moves, definitely. For shares, millions of shares, not thousands. This is a penny stock. And look at it go. Yeah. This is the point. This here is the resistance. This springy motion definitely has the momentum to push it up. As we said earlier, above 30 cents. This talk is definitely to keep it in for a few days. I'm thinking on Tuesday to possibly take some off and not risk so many, and then waited to consolidate again if it has peaked from my perspective. Because if you look at the chart, okay, it might jump, but I'm expecting around 40, around the middle of the height of this pump, to fall back again for a little and consolidate, like around 40, 45. But I'm not too sure about that movement because we heard the news through Trade Ideas. They do seem positive. They're in a good track. So it's one of the two. I have to make a decision when it reaches around 0.4, 0.45. If I can sell, wait, and then add again, or just leave it until it goes up. My first goal is to reach 25K, and this way I can manage margins. There are some stocks where you can add margins. For example, 4 times as much, or twice as much, or 3 times as much. What does that mean? If you go on a stock, you click advance after you create an order. For example, let's try this one. Buy 19, advance. Now, I can't submit it because I don't have as much of excess liquidity, but you would see a button saying check margin. There it is. Your order is not accepted because your equity with loan value is insufficient to cover initial margin. If it was, I could. So that's the thing. For me, 25,000 mark is the first step, the first goal. How long it's going to take me? Well, that's one of the reasons I'm also doing a short-term trading, because this way I believe I can possibly double the 5,000 and then go up above from there. Because I do see potential, like for by the end of April and then the first 2 weeks of May, I believe I would reach it, the 25,000 mark. Right now, many would be getting excited. Oh, it's reaching the 30-cent mark. But be careful. When a lot of traders get into this point, they might lose a lot of money. Because when it reaches, it might spike a little, give some confidence to some inexperienced users or traders, and then it's going to fall back very quickly. This is a high probability that it might happen. Spike up and then down. And then as the inexperienced traders, the emotional traders chase this stock. And when it falls down, they get scared. They get stressed. Oh, I have to sell. When they sell and it goes down to 29, then the experienced buyers buy their sold shares cheaper. And as it goes higher afterwards, more inexperienced traders go in. So it's like an endless chase. I'm not going to do that. I just want to play slow, simple, steady. Look at the chart. No matter what it shows here, just look at the chart. You might say 500 is enough. Yeah, okay, yeah, it could be. It is. Definitely is. But I have a quest. And my quest is I don't mind if it goes lower for now. I'm looking long term. So this is my point right now. For now, it's long term. I find I make more mistakes. See exactly what I was talking about. Go up and then it falls down. And then some inexperienced traders keep selling. Sell, sell, sell. And then the big boys just jump in. Now, this lower Bollinger Band has an average of this height. Let me fix it right there. So we're talking about in the next 5 minutes to touch around 29, possibly 29 or just higher. So I can just create the first step. Yeah. You can see that here too as well. This is the part that gets interesting. When you start learning about trading and you see the patterns and then you kind of like understand it as it goes, that's where it gets interesting. Forms up beautifully on the 1 minute chart. Later on future videos, I will be giving a P&L Excel sheet. It's pretty simple. You just record your earnings per day or per trade. And then you can have a record of how are you doing, your progress. Are you actually taking the right choices? And you will see a pattern through your trades. Patterns are actually everywhere, either through numbers, designs. The world itself is kind of a pattern. If you had an engine, the most powerful computer that had under consideration every single thing that moves or exists, there is a pattern that you could, with greater probability, predict things as they go. The problem we have now is we don't have enough knowledge. For example, this chart, okay, I see a visual depiction of it. I don't see the traders trading. Not that I would need it necessarily, but to get to the point, you have to filter the information you need to be able to get an educated guess or prediction through psychological and emotional decisions that other traders do. I might be getting too philosophical at this moment, but that's how I see it. There are patterns everywhere. We're just not looking at the right places. For example, the explanation I gave about this little step, after a while, you're going to get the hang of it. You just need perseverance. You lost a lot of money at the beginning. Well, you should have paper traded, but just in case you were too stubborn to do what I did, just continue practicing. And that's one of the first factors, the most popular one to why traders fail. They just stop because they get discouraged and they use real money and they're emotional. As human beings, we have emotions, but usually it's better to adjust our emotional state and balance it with logic and reason, even if the mind sees something obvious, like, for example, this stock, like in the next 2 weeks, passes 40%, 40 cents. Let's say it passes 40 cents for sure. Like it's 100%. My mind sees it. It's a given. Then my emotional side says, yeah, but you've lost money before and you can't be sure. But that's logical. So there's a gray line which may confuse a trader. And you have to figure it out. Each mind is different. And how do you separate that line from, okay, what is correct? What is the right choice? And what is an emotional choice? And after dealing with these constant choices throughout the day while trading, you're going to figure it out. The mind is flexible, and everybody's character adjusts and adapts to different situations. If you keep pressuring it in an environment, it will adapt to it. Not evolve, but adapt. And when that is accomplished, then you have to control it and improve it. Here's another fake one. This is a fake one. This is to scare traders. Now let's see if we continue the line. I don't want to move it too much. You'll see it will follow this little ladder on top. Now, well, where is it going to stop? Good question. 30 is pretty strong resistance. Why? Because in the beginning, on the pre-market, it had peaked around 30 cents. So everyone seeing that past 30 cents was described in their minds as the maximum of the day. And when it's passed, then it's like a rocket. It's like a slingshot. All this pressure, and then poof. Oh, we're not at that stage yet. No, I think we do have still some time. I think around 3:30ish, we might see some upwards momentum before the clock hits, and probably after market, we might have a gap. If that's it, if we do see a gap, for me, it's 120% to stay in for the next day, because I think my next video would be this Friday. I will be updating you about that. For now, it's just to keep watching at the chart, looking at news, and do your homework. Okay, so let's see around 3:30ish. So I'm back. I went for a bike ride for like 20 minutes. And now we're seeing ABB forming another support and resistance around the below 30s. I don't really have enough of info for this moment to know what it's going to do, but this trend line here for me indicates in close to 60 that it might go above this mark, which is the 29.75 before the bell rings. That's what I see here, and I see it as a higher probability of happening. Now, I was explaining about 4 really important pointers, and you can use these steps for your trading. This took a lot of months for me to understand, but this is like, for me, it's the golden key into finding when to join in a trading stock ticker and when. Okay, so let me explain this 4-part golden key trading tool. And this is, for me, it's like crazy good. 4 elements, 3 EMAs, RSI, volume, and the fourth, the big picture. So, what am I talking about? These are 3 EMA trend lines, indicators. I have the 9 EMA, 20 EMA, and 50 EMA. I have the 200 one, but I use it for support and resistance. It's a pretty strong support and or resistance when it touches. But for now, I'll keep it simple and straight to the point. So this is 1, 3 EMAs. 2, 60 RSI is the sweet spot from 55 to 65. Now, volume, when you have a above average increased volume, it promotes change, a reversal, in other words. And the fourth, what do you see in the chart? Does it have potential to be positive, bullish, or negative, a short stock? How do you apply them all together? When the 3 EMAs cross and have above average volume and is around close to the 60 RSI position, while determining in the bigger picture that it will result in a positive direction, like in a positive trend, like a trend, if it's a positive trend or if it's a negative trend. And you apply all those things and they cross each other and they meet. That's when a light bulb lights up in my mind and I see this is a sweet spot right here. This is the location that I should enter. And this has become natural to me because I've done it so many times and I figured out it worked for me. Now, this is as simple as it gets to day trading, long, like short, sometimes scalping, but I wouldn't use it so much to that. And let's see one pointer. On the list here on AABB, if you check the daily, because we checked before the 1 minute chart, we're there. We are at that sweet spot. Now look, we are close to the 60 RSI. Now you will say volume, not so much. Volume is higher than the last 3 days, so it's not above average. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you have a good point there. Yeah, true. The 3 EMAs are in the verge of crossing and touching each other. And the chart for me, like we have positive, negative, positive, negative, and it's enveloping to a positive trend. I probably should have gotten here or here, but I didn't have enough info for me to get in. And this explains the volume. As you see here, there are like waves, up and down, up and down, up and down, and we reached rock bottom. Now the other one is going up. As you check in stocks, you'll get more familiar. This is a visual game for technical analysis. I'm more used to technical analysis. I'm not so much in DD, unless if it's a longer trading stock, something that I just put my money in and forget it, like Apple, Tesla, stuff like that. I put in my trade ideas, configurations. I find what is closest to my 4 sweet golden indicators, and then I click all of them. I write them down on a list, and then if I see potential in one of the stocks, like I saw in ABB and CAVR, I just trade them based on those 4 points: RSI, volume, the 3 EMAs, and the overall picture. Now we had a 60. We had a above average volume. The overall trend was a positive, and we had a result. Now, This for me is a definite locking in stock until Tuesday, I would say. But that doesn't mean I won't look at it every day or every other hour during the day. So, because I've rambled a lot and went too deep into philosophy and the trading concept and how to trade with your own way, you can learn from my mistakes as well. When I fail, there's this realization that I'm wrong. And then I take a step back to think about why. And that's what trading is all about, learning from your mistakes and persevere through failures. This is Noob Trader, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.